Jedi.
Your powers are weak, old man.
Always remember, your focus determines your reality.
Hello there.
General Kenobi! You don't know the power of the dark side.
Hello and welcome back to the Disciples of the Force podcast. I'm your host, Austin Hyatt, here along with the real host, Spencer Silva.
Oh, thank you.
Sorry about last week.
Yeah, whatever, dude.
Let me tell you a story.
No, you were mad at me. I know it.
No, I don't know what's going on, actually. I thought I was sick. I thought my back was messed up. Grace was like, go to the doctor. I told her, no, I'm glad I didn't because I feel fine now. It was just like 3 days I was like bedridden with back pain for whatever reason.
That's really good, though. You should just write it out next time.
I'm just going to, hey, it worked. So my back hurt like crazy. Friday, I couldn't even sit at my office chair because it was painful to sit. And then Saturday, I helped a friend move, and I was going to help you move. And I was like, that's kind of risky. But Saturday evening felt amazing.
Really?
I think I just like worked it out.
You just rubbed it out. Should tell my wife she's doing massages right now. She get a massage her back out.
Really?
That's what she does.
Is that an option?
But you know, you my wife.
Ellie, if you're listening.
Yeah, right. You think my wife listens to this one? You think she listens to my technical and Star Wars podcast? She doesn't listen to either of these. She doesn't care.
Did she listen to Film Fixation?
If she did, my heart would be broken. I don't think she even... The only podcast she listens to are like the murder ones.
True crime.
Yeah.
All women. Just kidding. To our female audience, sorry about that. If she does need practice, though, I'll volunteer. Certainly.
It's pretty nice. She's doing we can move like the joint out and you like move it.
Oh, cool.
She's doing that. She's doing my shoulder yesterday. It's kind of weird. Felt
really?
Weird.
Yeah.
She
down to knees yet?
Yeah, she actually does knees too. She did elbow, shoulder, knee, ankle.
Okay, I might actually take her up on that. Because here's the other thing. I think I might just be getting old, or I'm just not moving as much as I used to. Yesterday, every day I do this. I'll plant my foot on the ground, and in my spinny chair, I'll rotate so that my lower leg stays still, but my body turns. Mm-hmm. Gives me a nice knee pop. Yesterday, I felt like this shooting pain after I did it, and I was like, I just tore my MCL or something.
You might have.
But I didn't really.
That's funny.
So let's get on to Star Wars. Sorry I was just intrigued by the massages. Any news?
No. I did mention in the last episode the Black Series.
Yes.
So those are coming out.
What was it again? The Black Series. What? I listened, I swear.
Wow.
It's
Star Killer.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
It was cool.
Yeah.
When I recorded that the first time, I don't remember what I said, but I said something terribly wrong and I had to cut it. And luckily, it sounded like I meant to say what I said. I'll tell you later.
That's good. Okay.
But yeah, let me look it up. Star Wars news. I tried a new thing today where I was going to be a little farther back in my chair, but I realized this sucks for typing.
Yeah.
So there is the Acolyte full list of writers revealed.
Really?
Yeah, by WGA.
Wait, when was that posted?
1 day ago.
Oh my gosh! Thank goodness. I thought the Acolyte was gonna die out because of the strikes.
Sounds like it. I just realized I have a pop filter.
Sure.
Sounds like that's on track then. That's good news.
Good.
That's good traction.
That's great.
Second thing is, and this is huge. This is bigger than the Acolyte. Star Wars Young Jedi Adventures will return with all new adventures on November 8th. Have you watched any of them?
No, I haven't.
I know it's for kids. I watched the first episode because I was like, let's see it. Great animation.
Really?
For kids,
like crisp or what?
It was really crisp.
Okay, cool.
I was like, this is good. And then it's got D. Bradley Baker.
Of course, our goat
is one of the voices. But,
how like little kid is it?
It's pretty little. It's older than it's not like Coco Melon.
Like they're not teaching you colors.
Right. It's more than that. More like a Dora. Age.
Cool. Yeah,
so
that's totally my speed. Yeah.
Yeah. So I throw it on.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, I might.
Yeah, but that is some news, is what I can see. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Well, cool. The studios have apparently just left the negotiating table with the actors. So that's news for development everywhere, which sucks. So hopefully that gets resolved. But
probably won't. They don't care.
They don't care.
They'll hemorrhage all the money they can to not pay them.
Yeah, it sucks. But anyway, okay, cool. That's the news.
All right. So we had. I don't even remember what was what was Statty's question.
Dude, I was looking for it today. I remember when he asked it, I either texted it to you or I couldn't find it in my notes or our shared note.
Yeah, I don't remember.
So let me look for it for a second in our texts because I didn't actually look in our
you
texts.
texted it to me.
Okay, because I was in the back of this car with you.
Statty, what's up, man? Thank you for being a faithful listener. I know you wanted to be anonymous, but I'm calling you out.
Dude, Statty is going to be a guest one of these weeks.
We need to, yeah. We need to get guests on here. Huh? You guys are sick of hearing our voices. I'm sick of hearing our voices.
A little sick of our... Have we ever had a guest? Except Jaron.
We tried Forrest a couple times, and one of them we just talked all the time. We just never did it.
Yeah, he's afraid of fame. That's all.
Yeah, right, that guy?
Yeah, that's true. Okay. What day did we see that? Oh my gosh, we kind of text a lot.
Yeah, we're kind of good friends. It was whenever. So it was 2 weeks ago on a Thursday.
Okay, sure. You can talk about something else while I find it. I'm probably going to find it as soon as you start talking. But.
Okay. Well, he also brought up a good point about Mace Windu. I think his exact words to us were, "This isn't me. This is from a YouTuber." Is that what he said? Maybe it was his actual opinion.
Was this Statty?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
He was talking about how. So we were talking about Mace Windu a couple weeks ago and how, what his beef with Anakin is, and one of the thoughts is, well, maybe he's jealous of Anakin because maybe he thought he was supposed to fulfill the prophecy and become the chosen one, which we do know he uses both light and dark when he's in his fighting stance, right? Correct?
Yeah, I think he has access to both. I don't know how it works.
It's murky.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting thought, though. Like maybe that is he's just jealous. Should be cool.
Yeah, it would make sense. And I wish we had more about Mace Windu before.
Well, they're coming out with a comic with him.
Oh, really?
I mentioned that last week, so you didn't listen.
I totally listened.
New comic. It's going to be Jango Fett and Mace Windu.
Oh, nice.
So we're gonna read that. I don't know if it's his backstory or if he's alive after the fall.
Right.
So let's look into that actually.
Wait, Jango Fett or Boba Fett?
Jango.
Okay, Jango and then Mace. I'm sure it's probably a prequel.
I think
I feel like Disney's too scared to keep Mace alive.
Well, yeah, because it was just going to go into the whole narrative of no one dies.
Yeah.
So I mean, probably.
But I mean, they're not afraid to explore that. So.
I mean, if there was any Star Wars, any Jedi to keep alive, I would have kept him out. I kept him alive over anything else you keep alive.
It's the most logical one because he doesn't need to hit the ground hard, thanks to the Force.
True.
Okay, I found the note.
Okay.
So the first thing was that Mace Windu thing. We covered there.
Yeah, I think we got our bases.
The thing is, Stat and listeners, we don't know really that much about Mace Windu, huh?
No,
we don't know. My personal theory is maybe he did think he was the chosen one, but my personal theory is he just knows that Anakin is totally unconventional and he just despises that.
Yeah, because he's very by the book, which I could see as well.
Yeah.
So from what I've seen in the books, I've only been one book, which was Brotherhood, that Mace was in there. He didn't get any of his backstory, but the same thing, though, of him being like, Anakin, where are you? You're not supposed to do this.
Right.
Kind of a thing. So just playing into who he is, as he's always been. So, I don't know, something there.
Yeah, very cool. Okay, second thing, other question we had was, why did Yoda give up when he was fighting Palpatine in Revenge of the Sith? That's right. When he's fighting Sidious, I suppose.
Yeah.
So I think Yoda is very in tune with the Force. Like when Order 66 happens, he feels it.
Right.
And he feels like all of these Jedi dying. He's one of the few that feels it in time to actually act and save his life.
Right, right.
Which speaks to his strength and his connection with the will of the Force. So I think, first off, we know his exile, his ultimate exile to Dagobah was part of shame for the hubris that he had because he was the head of the Jedi Order. He's the Grand Master.
Yeah.
So he's more responsible than anybody, really, for its fall, for not detecting the presence of a Sith, especially so close to them. Mm-hmm. So I think a lot of it was just shame. But the reason he stopped right at the beginning, or right in the middle of that fight, was I think he just understood that he was outmatched.
Right.
It looks like he's, handling himself well in the movie, but he just realizes how strong Sidious is, and maybe along with that, being able to sense the will of the Force. Every lightsaber battle in Star Wars isn't determined by strength, it's determined by the will of the Force.
Right.
It's a narrative thing. So he understood that it wasn't his will to take, it wasn't the Force's will to take Palpatine down or Sidious down.
Right.
But I don't know. What do you think?
No, I think you nailed it. I think he was probably, as you said, he's very in tune with the Force. So he probably knew, I'm not going to win this, so it's better for me to stay alive and pass on my wisdom. I don't know why. I just maybe felt that through the Force. Like, I need to live is the biggest thing. Is probably maybe what he felt, and that's probably why he gives up. Yeah, because I don't know. Like, I mean, Yoda in his prime, I think he's got palp, but at that point, you know what? He's old. He's an old man, still killing it though.
Yeah.
But I think he knew he wasn't going to win, and that it was better for the Force and for the whole story of the Star Wars universe to continue on if he left.
Yeah, I think you're right. Maybe he had like some sort of vision of Luke and like having to finish his training.
Right.
And that's the way Sidious is ultimately destroyed. Well, not ultimately, but destroyed for 20 years.
Because like maybe, Yoda doesn't beat him now, but Yoda can help beat him in the future.
Right.
Or, I mean, we all know the correct answer is because Yoda is just alive and...
Yeah, exactly.
And
they both got to live.
Right, but I think that plays into the story, though. Knowing his character, I feel like is right with what you were saying.
Yeah. Okay, hopefully that's a good enough answer. If it's not, if you're a listener and you think we're stupid, go ahead and comment.
Please.
Love
don't be
that.
afraid. Hey, don't be afraid to comment. I mean, just throw it down there. We see the views. We see how many people are watching these. Our 60 fans. It's actually, I did the math. It's like 120. It's really cool.
Oh, really? Every
between
week, huh?
Buzz from our podcast on Spotify and YouTube, if you add those together, about 120. That warms my heart. Makes me feel good.
There we go. Perfect.
So comment. If you're listening on Spotify, you can send us a question. I don't know how. Someone did it before, but
yeah. Okay, go ahead.
But if you don't know how to do that, because I don't, just hop on our YouTube, Disciples of the Force, comment on the video. We'd love to hear what you got to say.
Perfect. Yeah. My buddy Bantar texts me like as he's listening. So I know when he's watching because I'll get a text, like a comment, and then 20 minutes later another one, and then 20 minutes later another one.
Like, we covered that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, let's jump into Andor. We watched episode 2. If you're following along, we took a break last week. Sorry about that. Not a really heavy episode, as Austin said from his recollection, is that when they first released it, it was the first 2 episodes, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Because those together, it's a lot of story going on. So
yeah.
But let me look at my notes. Oh, it just takes so many notes. It's so hard to see. Oh, okay. The first note I had was it was really cool to see the mines in the very beginning when he's on his home planet.
Oh yeah.
And like how the CGI looked good. I was like, that looked nice. That looked like, I was like, that doesn't look cheesy. It's like really cool looking. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, one of the few bits of CGI. I mean, it's relative. It's all relative, but they don't use a lot of CGI in this show.
Right.
So you can kind of tell, of course, because it's a giant ass mine. But it looks good. I also like, just backtracking a little bit just before that, the music in this show. I had forgotten how good it is.
Yes.
From the very beginning, the intro where it shows like that crescent moon thing. Every episode, there's like a new instrument added to the intro, and it's so cool.
So awesome.
So the second episode, you can just tell, things are starting to kick off. And I think it's symbolic of like a rebellion building one person by one person.
That's good. I like that.
So you can just feel that going, and the music just has so much power in this episode, especially.
Yeah.
Jumping all the way to the end, the final scene where he's like walking through the junkyard and like those drums come in.
And then it's like,
yeah,
I'm
so
glad
sick.
we saw the same thing. That's what I wrote. Like, that's when I wrote down the music comment because I was like, that's awesome. Like, I don't think we've ever heard drums like this in Star Wars. It was like a live drum kit.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
So sick.
And it was intense going into it. It was really good.
Yeah, so if you're watching along with us, pay attention to the theme, the intro theme, and just the music throughout. It just gets like richer and richer as the episode's gone. It's awesome.
Because halfway through that, I can't remember the scene, but like I was listening, I was like, this is good. Like it was a total different vibe, kind of like what they did with Bad Batch.
Yeah.
And like you get the same vibe.
Yeah.
So it was really cool.
Even if Star Wars content isn't at like its high right now, the music definitely is.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It like whoever's over it, because it's not Ludwig Göransson anymore. Definitely not on this project.
Right.
But great music all around.
It's so like Ahsoka's was good. There's times like, this is like, they're nailing their music.
Yeah,
that's for sure. It's
very
good.
good.
Listen to it. I wrote here. Have they said? I'm quoting. Don't yell at me. The word bastards before in Star Wars.
I don't remember. I do remember in the next episode. Spoilers if you haven't seen this. The one like short, stubby Premux, or what's the Space Corps called?
No
The
idea.
enforcement people.
Oh, I wrote it down to remind myself. They're called. Dude, I looked it up. I didn't put it in my
I think
notes.
it's pre-Nox.
You're talking about where the dude Surreal works for.
Yeah, Cyril.
Cyril.
Sorry, I'm gonna sneeze real quick.
Yeah, I did have it right here. I got it real quick. Who does Surreal work for? I literally typed this in. I'm pissed. Imperial Bureau of Standards of the Galactic Empire.
That's where he ends up working.
All right, so I'm just
Anyway,
an idiot.
anyway.
No, I don't know how to pronounce it. Preoxmorlana.
Oh, wait.
Prox Morlana.
Yeah, Preox Morlana. Preox Morlana.
We're back
Does
to
that sound right?
Yeah, we're back to us not
Yeah,
knowing
back to our
anything.
roots of not knowing any fucking names. In the third episode, the short, stubby Preox officer that is Cyril's friend, or at least his ally.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
says
yeah.
the first shit that's ever recorded in
Really?
Star Wars. Yeah,
This is such an angsty little.
it really is. It's just more serious. And I remember when I watched it, I was kind of like, as stupid as it sounds, I was like, man, I just wish they didn't do that in Star Wars, because it's always been established, like from Leia calling Han a nerf herder, or whatever other curse words are in Star Wars.
Pseudo swears.
Like, I just love the imagination behind
Right.
it, and it takes you out of our real world. But at the same time, if he would have said something like poodoo right there, like, it would have taken me out of it.
Right.
So
I'm waiting for the F-bomb. An F-bomb in Star Wars
that'd be great.
in a good intense scene would be
Sure.
crazy.
Yeah, this series would be the one to do it. It's like kind of adult. Like,
Yeah.
we'll get
Oh,
to this later. I'm not sure if that's the first bastard, but it
'Cause, yeah,
certainly could be.
Because she goes, those bastards. I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
little fire under her.
But there's also in this episode like a pretty sexy scene.
Yes.
Which awesome. I'm an Adrira, I think that's her name, Arjona fan. So that's great. But yeah, pretty heavy.
Yeah, it definitely has. We say adult themes like it's so racy, and compared to any other television,
Yeah.
it's not. But compared to Star Wars, yeah, it is.
Yeah, you don't even see her upper leg, but it's still hot. You know what I mean?
You're a freak.
But yeah, I actually didn't take any notes, so you go ahead, and I'm free balling it.
So I just look like overachiever. That's
So
awesome.
we get introduced to Luthen in this episode.
Yes, we do. So good.
Which one of my favorite characters ever now.
Yeah, he's.
So cool. And I love, and I'm just going to be jumping because I don't have notes and I don't have a really good order.
I have two
But-
notes. So you're
Okay.
fine.
If I'm ahead of you, feel free to stop me.
You're good.
I
I don't know where you're going.
love when he's on that transport coming into
Okay.
Ferrix. And that guy is on the transport with him, like trying to spark up a conversation. And you can kind of get a feel for how secretive Luthen is. I was watching that and I was like, what does this scene mean? Like, what is it providing? Because it's so weird. We never see that
Yeah,
other guy
Never
again.
pops up again.
He doesn't really ask he asks what his line of work is. But it's just a really cool scene that, may not have that much power. But it shows us just a little bit of what Luthen's like, just right from the get-go without any exposition or anything.
Yeah.
Just like a casual conversation on transport.
And what I liked about that scene is, for me, it felt very real because I was like, dude, that is how I react if someone starts talking to me.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be nice. I mean, he wasn't trying to be nice, but like how he portrayed himself is how I feel. Like, I'm
Right.
very nice, like, oh yeah, it's awesome. But in my mind, I'm like Skarsgård. I'm just like,
Yeah.
I kept just going to the planet.
Right. I wish I could be that guy
I
that just
know.
sparks up conversation with people. I'm not.
Oh, you want to be the over?
Yeah, kind of. The guy that's creeping
you don't
everybody
wanna
out,
be
being
Luthen.
annoying.
I want to just be Luthen and show what I'm feeling. And
Okay.
Say
There we go. Let's be that.
yin and yang.
What?
That's just stupid.
I thought you said a racial slur over there.
No, yin and yang. Yeah. Oh man, that's awesome. Cut that. Cut it. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm keeping it in. I don't care. Well, the next thing I have is the scene where they are shooting the blow darts at the guy.
Yeah.
It reminded me of Planet of the Apes, like this. These people who are like coming to see the new technology.
Yeah.
And I mean, not like verbatim, like exactly like Planet of the Apes, but like just kind of like the
Same vibes.
same vibes as it. So I don't know. I was like, oh, this is really cool. I like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
That was it. That's all I thought about it.
It's just like the beginning of Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Or Rise? No, Dawn. the second movie in the new trilogy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
By the way, did you see the trailer for the new movie?
No.
Dropped today. Oh, it's
Gotta
sick.
watch it.
We'll talk about
Does
it
it
later.
play into the already established trilogy?
Yeah, so it's a continuation of the trilogy.
Oh, they're doing
But it's
another
like the
trilogy?
next. Yeah, I think so.
If you like Star Wars, you'll love Planet of the Apes.
It's
amazing.
it's the best trilogy of all time. Better than any Star Wars trilogy. I don't mean that.
He may mean that, but for the show,
I don't mean that. But yes, like the opening 10 minutes of that movie are just like this. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so pretty cool. And then the last thing I have here is towards the end when Cyril is Cyril.
Yeah, Cyril.
It's like cereal, but Cyril.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we said that last time because
he eats
there's like
cereal.
4 scenes of him eating cereal. Yeah.
When he's coming in with his clan, his boys, to what planet are they on? I forget
So they're on Prelox Morlana, I think. Or maybe that's the system they're on, and then they're coming to Ferrix.
Ferrix. Yes, they're going to Ferrix.
Yeah.
The ship, it's a split, and I was gonna take a screenshot of it, but you can't on Disney Plus. Well, on my phone I couldn't.
Right.
But the ship reminded me so much of a AT-AT or AT-AT, depending on your millennialism or whatever.
Okay.
Did you? I don't know if it caught your eye at all, because it's like I couldn't find a picture of it, so I was just hoping.
Well, no,
you had seen
it is an odd shape. It's like triangular.
Yeah, it's like a triangle.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like when he gets in close, it just kind of looks like the outside of a.
Right.
So I was
Oh,
like,
yeah. Like the head or something.
Yeah, exactly. So like, I wonder if there's like, okay, just reconstruct this for a cool scene or what. I
Right.
don't know. It was cool. I thought it was
Very
awesome.
cool.
So.
Very cool. I like that scene where he first. What's the guy's freaking name? The Scottish guy, his buddy,
Yeah,
Cyril's
the
buddy.
small guy. I have no idea.
I don't know.
I know
It doesn't really matter. I don't know. Anyway, I love when they meet and they're just both on the same wavelength of like bootlicking like goobers. You know?
Yes.
Sorry if you're a bootlicker. If I just offended you. But I just love that scene because like you see the light in Cyril's eyes and you're like, these are the people that make up. Obviously, they're not a direct part of the Empire, but these are the people that enable the Empire to
Yes.
like have control.
Right.
Is these people that want to do things the way it is without questioning. They're just super overzealous about it. So I think that's a really important scene. And then later when they're on the ship and he's like giving the briefing to the guys and then he like turns it over to Cyril and Cyril's like super cringe and whatever.
Yes.
But that's part of Cyril's arc is like this guy taught him that it's okay to be, you know, as ambitious as he is,
Right.
and enabled him to continue being that way.
And so I love that you pointed that because that was the same thing I saw too. It's like it's crazy how like it plays into his character. Like he's in his mind, he's so confident, but he's never had the role to be confident. So when he's put on, it's brutal to listen to.
Yeah.
But that's also why I like it because it's so real. Like that's someone who would talk that way. Like, so we're gonna, you know, and it. So I really enjoyed that part too because I think it plays really good into his character. And as you'll see as we go on, kind of how he grows and fits into the role that he wants to be. So cool. Very cool.
It reminded me of like when you have to give a presentation for school and you don't really know the material, but you know your presentation, so you're like giving it and you're like really shaky about it. That's what it reminded me.
Yes, exactly.
We haven't talked about Cassian Andor once, the namesake of this show. We've covered Luthen, we've covered Bix, and we've covered Cyril.
That's a good point.
What did he do in this episode?
So in this episode, he he's he's on the run.
Yes.
They're coming for him. So he's getting everything put together so he can sell I don't even remember what it is, the unbroken seal thing.
Yeah.
That's important.
Don't ask me.
I don't remember the name of it. But yeah, it's focused on him, but you don't really dive into anything because we're just kind of like, okay, he's getting prepared because we know he needs to leave.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's just trying to get everything in order. Really like, though, when he goes to get a ticket, or not a ticket, but get a ship to get out of here, how, like, he's like, he says he's from this one planet, wherever it is. Kenari.
Yeah.
And he's like, what's that?
Yeah.
Like, it was good enough that it was like, that guy probably didn't pick up on it.
Right.
But for the viewers, you could tell, like, he was lying. It was good acting, really.
No, it's great acting, and Diego Luna's awesome. And we talked about this last time. Like, even though Cassian wasn't born a rebel, you know, he just knows how to survive, and that's what I like about showing like little flashbacks of his past, just living in the jungle, because we don't really get any information. That's what I love about those scenes. No subtitles. We don't know what they're saying.
They're just talking,
and we don't really understand what's going on. Are they like the children of miners that got stranded there after an accident.
Yep.
I think that's what it is.
That's what I was led to
Or are
believe.
they natives of this place? I think it's the former because
I
all
guess
the
that makes
clothes they're
sense, too.
wearing look like worn minor clothes
Right,
that
they
they've
took from
repurposed
the-
or something.
yes, Yeah.
But anyway, that's what I love about that is like we don't get to see into his world that far. We just know that he's a survivor and he just like gets things done. And that's why he fits in perfectly into this role of, you know, an unconventional rebel and a spy, just because he can do those things.
But you bring up a great point that I've never thought about. It's like, yeah, from the beginning, he is not a rebel.
Yeah,
Like at this point, he's just, like you said, he's just trying to survive. He's just trying to make his own and get on with it, and piece by piece, just figuring it out on the fly, kind of like Han Solo, you know,
Right.
kind of a vibe. And so it's kind of really funny that he does fall into that role later on with Rogue One, but that's not how he starts and how that is cool. I've never even thought of that. Like,
do you though?
Like and that could happen to anyone. I guess you just
Yeah.
trying to survive and you fall into a cause. I guess I don't know. It's cool.
Yeah, that's the other thing I love. And of course, the originals didn't have time or the need to explore this kind of stuff. But everybody on his team later on, when they're like attacking the garrison and everything, spoilers, sorry.
Ooh, spoilers.
Everybody has like a different motive for being there, and they all come from like very different backgrounds. And so like where to contrast the Empire, where it seems like everybody is cookie cutter, everybody's the same, they have the same motive, they work as one. The rebellion is all like people who are kind of forced into this fight because they just can't take the crushing weight of the Empire anymore. And so like you have this mix of people all fighting together, and that's why it's so cool.
Yeah, it's true. That is the beauty of Star Wars, you know. Just
Sure is.
Tons of different backgrounds that eventually are on the same purpose, but how they got to this purpose is not the same.
Yeah. You could make this kind of show for literally anybody in his team later.
Yeah.
Like I'd love we don't need it, but if we had a series all about Luthen,
Oh, dude, I would love that.
that'd be killer.
He's, you know, because he's like rubs shoulders with the high and mighty class, and I would be a great show.
So cool.
Plus, Skarsgård he's a great actor.
Yeah.
So.
He's amazing. And his kids, killer. You seen them in anything?
I know they're actors. I don't remember what they're in.
So Alexander is in like The Northman and Infinity Pool that came out earlier this year. Have you seen The Northman?
I haven't seen either of those
It's
two movies.
amazing. I haven't seen Infinity Pool either. But anyway, and then Bill Skarsgård is like in It. He's the monster in It.
Oh, is he?
Uh-huh.
Oh, he's
in a lot of weird roles. But anyway, sorry, they're all great actors.
Yeah, great.
Great
And I
pedigree.
love his accent.
Yeah.
It just like plays to who he is.
Oh, dude. And oh my gosh, I can't wait to get to the later episodes.
Yeah.
The monologue later. So powerful. So cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember that was like one of the first things I talked to you about. Well, not first, but like later on, like a big thing.
Yes, yeah.
Which actually inspired the whole podcast, actually.
Literally. Yeah.
I mean, that is how the podcast happened, because I'd always ask you questions that we just talked about. So yeah, that's really it for the episode. Nothing too crazy, because it really doesn't have much going on. Just a lot
Yes.
of building.
Smart move on Disney to release these two together. We should have done them together. But I'm glad we didn't, because we got to talk a little bit more in depth about like the meaning of stuff. Next episode, it all kind of comes to a head, right?
Mm-hmm.
I guess watch and see, and we'll talk about it next week.
talk about
I don't
it
need to give a preview. Okay.
Sick. Rate it out of 1 out of 5. Go. This episode.
This episode alone, I mean, 1 out of 5, not 1 out of 10.
1 out of 10. I'll give you 10.
Okay, let's do 1 out of 10. Wait, let's do 1 out of 5. I forgot that's like the scale. You know, this is it's hard. It's like a 4 for me, or like a 3.5, because not a ton happens, but it's like, what am I to complain about? Like, there's nothing wrong with it. So
Yeah, I agree. It's like in that middle range where it's like, it's good, it's not bad.
yeah,
Clearly, you know it's building to something.
right.
So at the end, we'll talk about our favorite episode.
Oh, I can't wait. And I think that's why a lot of people, like, even when I see like edits of Andor on TikTok or whatever, I'll go in the comments and there's some 13-year-old that's like, nothing happened in the show, like it's boring.
It's boring. I didn't see any lightsabers, and I didn't see Fortnite references.
And there was no Subway sofas on the side.
I didn't see one single Subway sofa.
No, but yeah, some of these episodes, and here's the difference. Some TV shows will have filler episodes. I don't think there's any filler episodes in Andor.
No,
They all
they're
build
all
to something.
building to something.
But some of them are very slow and not a ton happens. And I'm totally okay with that. I'd prefer that.
It definitely, like, yeah, it's a slow build. It's
Yeah.
a slow burn, but Ahsoka, for the most part, was a slow burn.
Yeah.
Main story wise, I mean, there was events, but
Right.
and that'll happen with this too. So it's like they're kind of on par
Yeah.
with the way they play out the story. So
Yes. So
Awesome. So we were thinking about it maybe next week after we talk, because we don't. I mean, this one we were actually able to cover a lot of time talking about the episode, but I'm sure there'll be times where we won't.
Yeah.
So we're thinking about diving into some characters. I'm thinking this is why I didn't talk to you about this. So this is new to you.
Great.
Apart from what we've already talked about.
I'm locked in.
I think one of us will will bring to the table an episode.
Wait, what?
Yeah, don't worry about it. Bring to the table a character, and then you'll basically you'll have it all in front of you, and you're gonna teach the other. Not teach. That
Sure.
sounds lame. You're gonna talk about
Present.
the character. Present. Like
Yeah.
these. So basically, like the character of Count Dooku. Here's some things that I thought were interesting. So his dad hated him and things like that.
Right.
That's what I'm thinking
Okay.
about doing.
I call Max Rebo. That's my first one.
Go nuts. I'm taking size noodles.
Okay. Okay. Well, guess what? I'm gonna take some other obscure. I'm gonna take Salacious B. Crumb.
No, I wanted Salacious B. Crumb.
Okay.
All
Well,
right,
cool.
We'll figure it out. I think one of them would be fun. Would be to do Mace Windu.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Because we showed today that we don't
We don't
know
know
jack
much.
about that guy.
So I think it'll be cool. And also, the biggest thing is just to make awesome clips for TikTok.
Yeah, we just want engagement. We just want to farm
We need
it.
engagement. We got 3,000 followers that we can't convert to listeners.
Yeah,
You
that's
just
great.
live with it. You move on.
But hey, to those of you that do listen, thank you so much. It means a lot.
What is that?
You're paying for my mortgage.
Dude, could you imagine?
Let's get
wish-
there.
What is that? What is our ratio on that? 120 to 3,000. That's pretty low, I'm pretty sure, because 300 would be 10%.
Yeah.
That's still pretty high.
So we're at like
I
4%.
was gonna say like 4 or 5%. Anyway, that's all I have for this episode. Next week, jump on, listen to watch Andor episode 3.
Yeah.
Please, please, please don't be afraid to send us a question. We'll answer it to our best knowledge.
Please. Okay. Well, that's it for me.
That's all I got.
Okay. Well, thank you for being a disciple of the Force.